Once a man helped with laundry and he made his wife cry. Put her clothes in the dryer and he turned it up high. Oh, then she'll say, you will pay hee-hee or I'll go cuckoo. You will pay honey, let's go shopping, that is. Hey, I'm Amy on a Lolly Live. Welcome to our dryer video on the laundry PhD series. The washing machine finished. So now on to the next step, which is the dryer. One thing that I do when I switch clothes from the washer to the dryer is I check any stains that I have pre-treated and decide if I'm like okay with how well the stains came out. And I'm okay with that. If your stains do not come out, by all means, do not put them in the dryer because the heat from the dryer will probably set the stains. Check those stains. If they aren't out, pull it to the side. And then you double check the washing machine to make sure that you didn't leave anything, particularly if you are in a laundromat. When you go to the laundromat, make sure that you take extra quarters just in case the dryer doesn't dry as much as you want it to dry, because that does happen, or just you lost a quarter somewhere. You should take a couple extra quarters. It's just a good idea. You check this and you remove the lint. You have to check it before you start your laundry because you could burn down the place if you don't. Or you could ruin the dryer. My lint thing is here. Sometimes the lint things are like right here and you grab it and it has this like little screen that comes out, lint things in different areas. Something that I really love about my laundry room is that I have this fancy little mailbox over here that I dump my lint in. I love it so much. It's like a little trash can. Our family has the superpower of static, and so because of that, we use dryer sheets. There are lots of people who swear by the little dryer balls. I will tell you that I have found that when you're dealing with the superpower of static, the dryer balls don't cut it. They cut it for, they're fine for like normal, regular people. I'm really not kidding when I say that we have a static superpower here. So we use a dryer sheet. However, sometimes during the non-static season, I will rip my dryer sheets in half because I don't need a whole dryer sheet, and then, well, yeah. So, dryer sheet ripped in half. And now on to the buttons on the dryer. Just like the washing machine, the dryer has lots of buttons. However, it has slightly less buttons than the washing machine, so that's good. The dryers will generally have a power button and a start button. It has some kind of a wheel that has different settings, presets, and so like if you were to put it on delicates, it kind of has it preset to do a specific thing, and if you have it on cottons, it's preset for a specific thing. You can change the presets on each one of these things. The thing that the dryer wants to know is it wants to know either how long you want to dry it or how much you want it dried. It has a sensor inside that says how dry the clothes are. If you don't want it to choose how dry your clothes are, you can set it for a specific amount of time, or you can let it decide how dry the clothes are. And then the third thing that it wants to know is what temperature you want it dried at. The higher the heat, the more it tends to shrink your clothes and cause other problems, and the lower the heat, the slower it dries. Those are the things. It's either temperature or dry level, one or the other, and how hot you want the dryer to be, and then you just push start. So there's a lot of controversy about what you should and should not dry, and there's a lot of people that have very strong opinions about their clothing and what they want dried and what they don't want dried. And so if you're doing clothes, you're doing somebody else's laundry, you should probably take that into account, because my laundry like I said, I just don't own any fancy clothes, and if I do, then I don't wear them very often, and so mine usually just goes straight from the washer into the dryer. If you have certain clothing items that you don't want shrunk, or you just want them to last longer, or you just like the way that they look or whatever, you should take them out before you put them in the dryer. A couple of other things that people tend to do is sometimes they'll put their clothes in the dryer and they'll turn it on and just long enough to get it like heated up, so like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes tops, and then they pull the damp clothes out of the dryer, hang them up, and do it that way. Other people will dry things on low heat or dry things with no heat, just air fluff it. If you have things that you don't want to go from the washer to the dryer, then you should probably do something so that somebody doesn't help you too much. Because if somebody were to come along and put something, you know, and move your clothes from the washer to the dryer and just be super helpful, they could ruin some of your clothes. And so if you have specific things that you do not want them to dry, something that you can do is dry erase marker with a pom-pom glued to the end. You could write on here, don't dry. You could also do it on the front of your washing machine if it isn't black like mine. Or you could like write it here, don't dry black pants or any sweaters. So you could write that directly on the washing machine so that if somebody comes along to help you, they're not too helpful. With your little fuzzy pom-pom. Ta-da! When the dryer bell rings, that officially begins the big boss level. Anything that you've done to get your laundry done, you know, to like get it moving along before this point is nothing compared to the big boss level. This is the hardest part. Watch. And just like that, I have started the big boss level. To finish it, I actually have to fold and put away these things. Yeah, that's why it's the big boss level, because it's kind of scary how much effort it's gonna take. And what happens if you don't take the clothes out of the dryer right away? Well, they wrinkle. That's what happens. And then you have like all wrinkly clothes and like it just looks bad. It just does. And so you gotta take your clothes out of the dryer and gotta get them folded up and put away. For those of you who don't always get your clothes out of the dryer right on time, there is a secret weapon. Like, no kidding. This is the secret weapon. It is the best. Yeah, I know, it's probably some horrible chemical. I am an awful person because I love it anyway. What you do is if your clothes are all wrinkly or whatever, you take it out, you spray it, kind of flatten it out a little bit and give it a couple minutes to dry and ta-da, it's all better. Yeah, so nice. Just like that. It couldn't be any fresher if it had come straight from the dryer. Something else to keep in mind as far as clothes in the dryer is that there are times where when you put the clothes in the dryer, you have something in the dryer and you need it dry like yesterday. Yeah, it should have been dry yesterday, but you forgot to do it, and so now it is still wet and you need to wear it. And if you are in those situations, a couple of things that you can do to help it dry quicker. You can put in a clean, dry towel in with the laundry that you're drying, and that will dry the clothes in the dryer quicker. Another thing that you can do is only put the item that you want dried in the dryer with a couple of clean, dry towels. And it will, like, it'll dry quicker. Laundry, laundry, laundry. This is the dryer. I'll see you next time on A Lolly Life. Thanks for joining us in our laundry PhD program. This one titled The Dryer.